The views and opinions during this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the sponsors or executive producers. This program contains conversation, discussion, debate, which a truly free society would neither fear nor suppress. However, in some socially inept areas, certain religious fanatics and ultra-sensitive and extreme political affiliates violate your First Amendment rights by attempting to control what you watch, listen to, write, and speak. We feel that this is unconstitutional and un-American. And now we present the MKULTRASOUND podcast. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MKULTRASOUnd.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man.
A little bit less jive this week, as we're for the fourth week in a row, Ty-free. Ty this week is sick.
Well, I hope she feels better.
Well,
soon.
we have Emily in the house again to save the day.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it is
I brought
afternoon.
my
At least it's
friend
not
with
4 in the afternoon. And you brought a friend with you, country music up and coming sensation.
She is.
Heather Wagner, no relation to Porter Wagner, I don't think, who is
Who
a
says
country
that?
music legend from the 70s. See, I started. Porter Wagner, as Nick Huffman probably knows, had a Porter Wagner show on, I believe, Wednesday nights on network television in the 70s, and Dolly Parton got her start there before implants. And then she had her work done after, and then she became the star. But Porter Wagner was really cool because the show started out with him. He wore the rhinestones,
Okay.
like the blue, the bright colors that those country crooners used to do. Walking down the hall where he hit click, click, click of his boots, and then to be like the Porter Wagner show.
Because of heels, not spurs.
If it, ooh,
I,
is that Ty? So I've been up since 4:30 this morning. Cassie only got 3 hours of sleep. She drove in from where she came in. You came about an hour and a half in. Did you bring checkers?
I didn't.
I'm teasing.
No, but that would have been really thoughtful of me. I'll think of that next time.
Next time. Yeah. Well, hopefully by next time.
I'll forget that I wanted to think of it.
Checkers was supposed to be open in Wicker Park on June 20th, next to a Popeyes that's open, and they're adjoined. And there's no drive-through at this particular Checkers. It's the only one in the nation with. And Checkers is also a cousin of Rally's. It's the same restaurant. In Illinois, it's Checkers. So they closed all the ones in the city about 20 years ago, probably because I was gaining weight, and and so I have it whenever I come down your way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you have like 4 cheeseburgers for breakfast.
When I came down for my birthday, went there for breakfast with Todd Brack, my Uber driver, and they have a triple Big Buford now.
I was just going to say, I want to know, when you go to Checkers for breakfast, is this the sort of thing where do they have biscuits? No,
it's not like White Castle.
No, you're having burgers for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, and he couldn't believe how fast I ate this thing.
Well, because by the time we had lunch at a normal lunchtime, you were already bragging about having had...
I had Checkers at 9:30. No, more like 10 because I checked into my hotel at 9:30, and I can't wait to come back down because I just love this fucking hotel I stay in. Well, you came up.
It was more than what. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna say that as you were bragging about this hotel before, I was like, "Geez, Alex, where do you stay? That the highlight of your time here is the hotel." It was nice. It was really nice.
The room was killer, right? It's got a step-in jacuzzi. It's marble.
I think the jacuzzi had grocery bags in it of like margarita mix and stuff like that.
Yeah, the room was. Angela was on the show, and she said she could hear the music down the hallway. Mm-hmm. Same thing with you?
No, I couldn't.
Okay.
No.
See, too many concerts for you, Def.
A little bit.
So we've got a lot of stuff to
H3
talk about this week. We've got letters. I do have to point out, though, if you're watching us on YouTube, look, at 66, we get a lot of traffic on YouTube. A lot of people watch this show on YouTube. Click subscribe. Just go right down to the bottom of your screen and click subscribe. It'll help us. Once we hit 100, we'll be able to have our own domain, youtube.com/MKUltrasound podcast, like we have on SoundCloud. And if you're just listening to us on SoundCloud or however you listen to us, click subscribe. It helps us. Helping us helps you. And we bring more to you. And we're going to have another contest after the first of the year. And you might, if you live in Illinois, you might win weed.
And that was where Alex transcended into internet influencer.
Well, you know, I don't really. Good one.
You
By the way,
millennial.
this is Billy Corgan's cousin. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I did know that.
Yeah. That's I heard Todd Brackett said, "Hey, did you know that was Billy Corgan's cousin?" I'm like, you know,
I don't
You told
share
me
this
that-
information very freely. I don't know
you
how
mentioned
people
it.
know this.
You mentioned it once. Well, I'm sure it's legend where you live.
I don't think
But-
anybody knows this.
Well, Todd did. He said, "Did you know?" I'm like, you know, yeah. As a matter of fact, I did know, but I don't think about that.
I don't-
when I think about you.
I
I
seriously
just think about
don't.
you.
I mean, I have thought. I mean, well, I'm proud of what he did. I mean,
he's amazing.
I feel excited about his story, and you know, and the whole family I think has this sense of like, well, this is this really cool thing, but I don't feel like any of us have a claim to fame. Like, he busted his ass to do
Yeah.
this weird thing. Like, you know what I mean? At the time, like when you start out, it's like, oh, you're the weird one and everybody wants to think that you're a freak until you prove to them that you are a real artist. And then all of a sudden everybody wants a piece of it. I feel like, I'm not saying that's how my family is. I'm saying that if anybody else was going to like brag about it, it's like, that's not really your
My
thing to
family
brag
still doesn't give a
about.
fuck what I do.
That's cool.
I was the weirdo.
I
I'm
think
still the
you're
weirdo.
Awesome.
And they just could give a fuck, but that's a different story. So Larry Goon called. Now Larry's putting on the Chicana Fest, and he called me 2 days ago because Ty told him. Ty used to date Al Jorgensen, and they were a couple. And she was in the movie AI with them.
Yeah.
And she was on stage in that and was phenomenal. And that's back when I first met her.
Mm-hmm.
She looks completely different because she was like a total evil goth witch in that. But
I wonder if she's excited about that. That like as she listens to this, I wonder if she's loving that term for her.
she knows. I mean, and you
She
know,
rocks it.
I thought, yeah, I
She
thought,
holds
like,
it well.
I'm like, when I first saw her at the Riv and Disturbed
You have a
opened,
crush on her.
I did. I was like, that girl's hot. It's Al's girlfriend, but she's fucking hot. So, that's that. But
Back on track.
apparently, she told Larry that she could get ministry on Cannabis Fest, Chicana Fest. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. I mean, a one-off to fly them and all their gear in here to do a one show is a fortune, and a fortune indeed. Now, the tickets are high-priced for Chicana Fest for a 3-day VIP pass, but I'm like, I hit her up about it. I got no reply. I told Larry I'd do that. But he is getting mystery actions on the show. The band I want on there, and I want Electric Revolution on, so I contacted those guys, gave them Larry's info. Hopefully those bands will be on the show on one day because the following week is Exotica.
Okay.
I've got to be at Exotica for 3 days.
Oh, if we know this.
And how's my voice? Because last week I was at work.
Raspy as always. It's great.
Yeah, I was at work early, talked on the phone for 4 fucking hours, came here, did a show with Tiny Dexy. So anyway, Larry is just back from his 83rd ban on Facebook. He's been banned 83 times, 30 days. So he's like, sorry for not posting in a month. I've been on another 30-day ban for doing nothing wrong. He shoots pictures of women, beautiful women, but none of them are nudity. Larry and I know what community standards are. You have to in our business. Mm-hmm. And when I worked on terrestrial radio, I couldn't say fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, prick. I couldn't say these words.
Yeah, get that all out of your system now. I feel like you have to know what especially if you're going to do anything controversial, you have to know what your line is and go right up to it.
Well, I mean, America is still freaked out about nipples, and I don't get that.
Hashtag free the nipple.
So New Year's.
Sorry, but that's how I feel about that.
Say it again.
Hashtag free the nipple.
Yes. Well, some guys don't need to be walking around with their shirts off.
True.
You know what I mean? There's some fucking gross male nipples out there. The baloney nipples, like Fabio has.
Oh, I can't think about this. I would like to
am
retract my
Am I turning you on?
Not so much.
So what I wanted to talk about Larry is on New Year's Eve, he's going to be downtown giving away so-blown weed packs. He's handing out weed packs to celebrate the recreational legalization of cannabis in Illinois. So Chicana Fest will be Easter weekend in downtown at this, what's the place called, Alex? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I know how to find it. I'll go to his. He has a page on Facebook, but it's at the Galleria Marchetti, 21 and over, April 9th through the 11th. You can go to ticketferry.com, event Chicana Fest. or you can just go to his Facebook page and find it. But yeah, that's 2 weekends in a row. The weekend after that's Exotica. So you talk about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby.
I think I'll be like spring cleaning and nesting at my house doing the exact opposite.
So Heather, feel free to jump in anytime.
She's
So
enjoying herself.
at 6 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday, they're going to start selling weed at these dispensaries. 6 a.m. I'm going to go to the German neighborhood with Max Bravo, and hopefully Cassie will come with the dog. And my favorite drinking bar called Hansa Clipper, Carol's Hansa Clipper. It's a German bar, and it's a dive. Not as cool as Looney Bin, but it's cool for a place that just has a jukebox. And my second favorite bartender in the city, Christine. And but I want to go by the dispensary in a taxi because I want to see the lines of people out there like, ooh, weed.
You think that's how it's gonna be?
Michigan was insane. Did you see about Michigan last week?
I didn't.
Lines of people, and they're worried about a shortage, and I'm sure there's going to be. This is just funny, and I think it's going to affect the street level drug dealer, but maybe in a positive way, because the legal weed in Illinois, I don't know if you know this, is going to be taxed higher than any in the nation. It's going to be more expensive, just like anything.
That doesn't surprise me.
Governor Fred Flintstone. So how do you? Gotta ask Heather. Where are you politically? Republican, Democrat, Independent?
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I'm right. I'm exactly like my audience, right down the middle. You're a singer. You're kind of a shy singer.
Yep.
And you can always see her on Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays at the Looney Bin in Bradley, Illinois. I always see your post, Taco Tuesday. And you worked till close last night, didn't you?
I did.
Thanks for coming in.
Not a problem.
So that's the whole weed thing I want to talk about. I want to jump and talk about our weather this week. For Chicago, it snowed 6 inches on Halloween.
Yeah.
It was 60 degrees Christmas Day.
We traded off. For real.
I was fine, and I didn't do shit. I worked from home Tuesday, worked from home Friday. I was off Wednesday and Thursday, so I was kind of pissed at myself that on Christmas Day, since I wasn't going anywhere because I didn't want to go out of town because I wanted to work. I wish I could have worked Thursday, but I didn't. I went for a bike ride, but I'll tell my bike ride story after I tell you my movie story.
Okay.
So there's this movie, I must have seen it on Tubi, called The Handmaiden. It's a Japanese-Korean film. The Japanese subtitles were in yellow, and the Korean subtitles were in white. And it's like a trifold wraparound story, 3 versions of the one story. And basically, I don't want to give too much away in case you want to watch it. I know Cassie's going to want to watch it. The first time I watched it, I loved it. So I figured I want to watch it again. It's an Amazon movie. So unedited, I didn't realize the girl-on-girl sex shit was going on in this movie. I learned some things. Me, I work in the adult industry. I learned something.
Hey, everything in life is evolving, Alex.
So though these are ancient techniques of female on female lovemaking, and my TV's cranked, and I've got neighbors with 3 kids next door. Now she laughs.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna have to hide this from my timeline. I'm like,
so I say
people that listen to this because I'm on here and I'm gonna have to edit out.
Not really, because I'm not going to go into detail about it.
Okay.
But they had something to do with harmony balls, if you know what those are. It's an Asian thing. So I got
Where are you going with this? Let's direct. Come on.
I'm
Focus.
going to get to my bike ride. So it's like 58 degrees, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, it's already loud. So if I turn it down,
everybody's going to know now.
Well,
what was I
first of
listening
all,
to?
they live next door to Alexander.
They've got an idea.
I think they have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
What goes on behind closed doors. We do a podcast. And seriously, that's about it these days.
I feel much more comfortable here. The first time I came here, I was convinced that I was going to need like therapy. I mean, not once I was
before
here.
You came
before
in.
I came.
Yeah.
I was prepared. Yeah. Like, I don't even remember. I think I was coming to like drop off some jackets that he had fixed or something like that, or pick up one.
No.
And so I was like,
first
okay,
time
this is cool. And I felt safe. But I was prepared to be culture shocked.
Well, because of how people look at me on the internet.
And but then
I portray
realized
myself differently as I am as a real person.
Yeah, that's true. Because then once I was here, I was like, this is just chill. Like, this is just like your buddy's house. You go and borrow a cup of sugar or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
You
And
worked
then-
on my vest.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I took you for...
Tech. No.
Oh, we went to the Mexican restaurant the
We
first
did.
time.
Yep.
My favorite.
Margarita the size of my face.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
El Mariachi. Oh, yeah,
But now I realize it is. It's chill. Like,
So,
just take space.
I just gave up my dining room, though. That's because I like to cook for people. So when I cook for people, I got to tear this all down. And I haven't really
But
cooked
your
for
back
anybody.
porch is great for gathering.
great?
Yeah. And hey, I mean, if we're going to be in Chicago and it's 60 degrees in December, you don't ever need an indoor dining table again.
So my story of this movie is like, it's loud. I hear my neighbors next door. It's like, okay. I don't think it sounded so sexual because there was dialogue and they didn't have that music like, but it was, there was dialogue. So it wasn't a porno, obviously. But it was hot, and it made me crave Vietnamese noodles, udon noodles. So
So then I was a little hungry, and I went for a bike ride.
And I went to the Vietnamese neighborhood, and I'm like, fuck, it's beautiful. So this is the 26th. It's 11:30 in the morning. I went to the lake. I just started biking. I'm like, this is fucking gorgeous. The bad thing is, a lot of families were out. So there's a lot of human traffic on the bike trails. Because it's families, they're together. It's
And
a beautiful day.
I mean,
Let's
that's a
walk-
risky phrase
let's-
right now to be using, but
Let's walk down by the lake.
okay, yeah.
And so I'm like dodging people, but I'm happy. And then my phone, Danny Lee Hill and his drummer Mike, okay, we're out around. We're going to come over. We're going to come by. So I'm like, give me another hour. I biked for another hour, got home, got in here. These guys came in, smoked some pot. We watched Devo videos.
Nice.
Mike had never seen Devo to realize how cool they are. So we put that on. And then I had my noodles. They left and I had noodles. And so my Asian fix was done for the year. Oh, we only have a couple more days left this year.
We do.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of gusto for going into 2020, I tell you that. So, you know what? I should probably play... I got some letters I'm going to read, but I want to talk to you about your top fives of 2019.
All right.
We have a choice. The tired old politics of sweetheart deals, trading favors for campaign contributions, endless war, Wall Street bailouts, or a fresh approach and someone we can be proud of. Tulsi Gabbard.
I'm Tulsi Gabbard. I approve this message. I'll work to end tax loopholes, end the war in Afghanistan now, protect Medicare and Social Security, and work hard to make you proud as your Congresswoman. And I'll always fight for you.
Yes, I'm sure my executive producer won't appreciate I slipped that one in again, but I did. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. My friend Bob got to meet her last night, and he sent a letter, and we're going to read that. Mm-hmm. But after we talk about our top 5 favorites for 2019, now,
Okay.
I have to do this every year.
Let's hear this.
But I thought I'd ask you if you have a list to share. So, and you probably have no idea about any of these bands I'm going to mention, but okay, my top 5 favorite CDs. Number 1, absolutely, was the Angel Arisen album. And I love Angel. I've been an Angel fan since I was 14 years old. They were the polar opposite of Kiss, photo negative of Kiss. Kiss was all the black, they were all the white.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss was like hellish, they were from heaven. And Punky and Frank got back together with a great new group of guys, and our friend Danny Farrow, who's been very kind with us and with our video producer, Cassie. They've become very good friends. Hello, Cassie.
Hello, darling.
We're talking about you. She just flashed her tits.
That is not what happened.
Hey, Danny, you missed it. What'd she
For
do?
everyone listening, this girl is head to toe stocking cap winter hoodie, and she just showed him her T-shirt. Let's get real.
What's the T-shirt, though?
Oh, well.
It's a skeleton hand giving the middle finger. I love
it
it.
has a political message.
That wasn't for Danny, was it?
No, it was to
No.
make you smile and laugh. Clearly, it worked.
So that's Danny, and he's a great guy. He also he sculpts rockstar figures and dolls and stuff.
Like out of clay.
Like what I have in there.
That's awesome.
What I have. So I have to show you my Batman, by the way.
Okay,
New
yeah, I
Batman.
want to see this.
So they absolutely captured that essence of the 70s that they were about. If Angel had hung around for another year or two, they would have been MTV's hugest band. But they didn't. They had the image, they had the look. They were the first real hair band ever.
I don't mean to pause you in that track, but what do you? I know bands like that where I feel like they would have been like the next big thing, the hugest thing.
Okay.
Everybody would have known it. What do you think happens?
Well, they were first of all very pretty, and
So they needed to get a little dirty.
they
I
are
just had
they,
this
no.
conversation with Heather on the way here.
They had the androgynous thing going before Poison for anybody, and they were really really good. But the music industry, their record label Casablanca, who had Kiss, they were focusing a lot on disco. They had Kiss, but they were doing Donna Summer, Village People, shit like that. And so they called their last album, what they wanted to call was Bad Publicity. It ended up being called Sinful. And the band broke up because they were going nowhere, and all this money was so. Greg Giuffria went on with his band House of Lords, with Gene Simmons put on his label, and then the band Giuffria, they had a couple of top 40 hits. Other than that, nothing happened, and they were the band. The best way to describe Angel is, and I want you to see something here. You either loved them or you never heard of them.
Yeah. Okay.
If you look at this logo right here, if you turn that upside down, it says the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It looks exactly the same. Number 2, it should be no surprise to anybody, was LA Guns, The Devil You Know. I don't have to justify that. Number 3 is a tie between Curse Mackey and his girlfriend, Rona. Curse had an album called Instant Exorcism on Negative Gain, and Rona had Insomnia on Rogue Heart Music. And then we've got my boys from Wisconsin, Kenosha, Wisconsin, who've come to the Looney Bin, played for me twice. Electric Revolution, Burn It Down. Definitely the fucking best hard rock album next to LA Guns.
They have a shredder on their team, which is really cool.
That guy's fucking great, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. And
Very much.
I saw Angel when I met him.
Yeah.
And then he took Cassie in to get all the shots, and then the guitar player for Angel fell in love with Cassie, and how that goes. And then, of course, we round out the top 5 with the Joy Thieves. We can't call them a super group, but they are a super group with their debut album on Armorlight called This Will Kill That. That's my top 5 as far as CDs. My top 5 favorite live concerts, well, it was Angel with Stars, Electric Revolution at the Reggie's Rock Club. And I list on MKUltraMagazine.com, I list all their set lists. Second show was LA Guns with the Darbies, Tease, and Dang Blasted Crank at the Rock House West Dundee, and I took Todd Brack to that.
Okay.
And then Cheap Trick in Riverside, Iowa.
You don't miss them, do you? Not if they're close by. Cheap Trick.
I never miss Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
I go to Iowa every year to see them, 5 hours.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. I'll tell it. We've got time. Because Ty isn't here. No, one thing I do every summer is I take the mega bus to Iowa City, meet up with Dale. We see Cheap Trick together.
Yeah.
Dale's a couple years older than me, my hetero life mate. And
I love that.
HLM, hetero life mate.
Get it. I get it.
And so, we love Cheap Trick, and we've seen him now this time it was a casino. We've seen him outdoor festivals, all kinds of different places, and I see him here whenever I can. But yeah, I took Cassie to see Cheap Trick with Adrian.
Okay.
And they played the Naperville Last Fling 2 years ago.
I've never seen them live.
The JCs in Naperville were very good to all of us. Right, Cassie? You're not going to flash us on that. Moonis. Does your underwear have the same thing? And after Cheap Trick, I gave Cinderella's Tom Kiefer and LA Guns at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles on November 2nd. And then Electric Revolution at the Looney Bin on Friday, March 20th. And you were there.
I saw that, yeah. Yep. An accident, I think.
Movies were easy. Oh, yeah, because you were stitching my...
I was working, yeah.
You stitched my typo negative bomber jacket.
Yeah, just, part of being friends with Alex is that, I was working. It was a late night ahead of me. I probably had like 20 hours straight going on sewing, but Alex needed his jacket done. And, what Alex wants, Alex usually gets.
Oh, so come on.
I hauled my machine into the living room. And no, I mean,
Heather,
I couldn't tell him no. I couldn't tell you no because I had eventually, at some point I had told you I would do it.
Yeah.
So it was like
she did it right there in the dark.
He
I was
doesn't.
there.
He doesn't let you back out of stuff. It's a nice thing. I mean, honestly, you keep people accountable for what they say they're going to do. So.
Well,
whether I liked it or not,
I'm a man of my word. I could be sick as shit. I'm going to crawl out of my hole and do what I said I'm going to do.
Yeah.
than make people sick along the way. And of course, I'm going to end with my top 5 favorite movies. Now, this comes with some shit that I'm going to get from people, but number 1, of course, and Cassie just saw this, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing love letter to Hollywood from Quentin Tarantino, and everybody says that. It truly is. It's a gorgeous, fucking beautiful movie. I saw it in 70 millimeter. There's only 5 theaters in North America, that includes Canada, that can show 70 millimeter. It's a music box up the street.
Okay.
A bigger screen, a better print.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous, and it was a beautiful film. Then, of course, the Avengers Endgame.
That's on my list. It really is.
I thought for like a week, best movie I've ever seen in my life. And then I started reevaluating the movies I do like. It's the best superhero movie ever made. It's the best action movie ever made.
I mean, yeah, I've seen
the
list of them.
So the number 3 is the Deadwood movie on HBO. And excuse me, number 4 is El Camino, was the movie from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
That had Jesse.
Okay, I saw
And then
part of that. I didn't see the whole thing.
The Dirt, the Motley Crue biopic.
I didn't watch that, but I've had some really interesting discussions with people who knew the plot points of that movie. You know what I mean? Like what it was based off of. So,
Well,
I don't
the
know
movie,
if I'm going to watch the movie.
The book, you should watch it. The book is the best rock and roll book I've ever read.
And I've heard that. I've heard that a lot.
It's true, but they're assholes. The members of Motley Crue are all assholes. They're assholes to each other. They're assholes to their management. They're assholes to their fans.
Yeah.
They're assholes.
But I feel like anybody who I've ever spoken to who knows the people involved, like on a personal level, it just kind of sounds like if you know anything about their world, and they make it their world. It's not even like the rock world. It's their world.
Yeah, it is.
If you know anything about it, you just kind of know what you're getting.
Well, they made it hell for everybody. Their management, I've talked to people, the record label people that worked at the time, but it's amusing. It's a fun 90-minute flick. Takes a couple of liberties, and I was having fun watching it until the part where they killed Razzle from Hanoi Rocks, which is my favorite rock and roll band of all time, the Finnish band, and they couldn't become big because Vince Neil killed the drummer in that car accident. And they never talk about the 2 girls that they hit with Vince's car, who are still impaired, can't walk to this day. They never address that. They don't address the fact that he only did 30 days in the county jail, vehicular manslaughter. So that was my problem with it. The other 2 things I want to say is like the worst movie I saw all year that I paid to see was 3 from Hell, Rob Zombie's last movie. Just Excuse for Carnage. And
I thought that was all of his. I mean, when you said it was just.
I love Rob Zombie's movies. Well, no, I can't say that. I love Devil's Rejects. Excuse me. Smoked a cigar this morning. And Captain Marvel I didn't like because...
I did.
Well, of course you did. But did you know that... Listen.
I'm listening.
Let's have this argument.
All right. I'm ready for it.
No. What did you like about it? Let's go ahead.
I liked the fact that at that point that I watched the movie, I actually hadn't seen probably...
Did you go to the theater to see it?
I saw it in the theater, yeah.
Okay, it's good in the theater, isn't it? It's a beautiful film.
It was beautifully done. I liked about it is that at that point, I watched Captain Marvel, and at that point, I had only seen about half of the other movies that have anything to do with the Avengers story. And I liked the fact that I was interested in the movie so much that I got the concept, I understood enough to follow the movie, and also was intrigued enough to go back then and watch every single one of the movies.
And you
so
know
then
what,
I did.
though?
Between Captain Marvel and Endgame, I watched every one.
Okay, it takes place before those other movies, so you watch it in order.
I did, and that's what I loved
Heather?
about it. And the thing I liked
I
about
haven't seen any of them.
oh gosh, man, I gotta take her.
Country chick.
No, man, we're gonna just have girl movie
I'm
dates at my house
disappointed in
from now
myself
on.
because I have 2 sons. I haven't seen any of them.
And we're going to get to all about you, but again, I want you to jump in at any time here. I want to talk about Captain Marvel, though. I love Coulson, Phil Coulson. They make him young in it, and Fury's in it young. I love Phil Coulson's character. They brought him back to life in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series on ABC for what, like 5 seasons. Did you know Captain Marvel was a man?
Yeah.
He was actually a man.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what pisses me off.
They took liberties.
Nick Fury was white. Did you know Nick Fury was white?
No, I
Nick
didn't
Fury
know
and the Helen
that.
Commandos were white guys. Yes.
Okay, so I feel like
Oh, Nick
they
Fury
took
did
their
start
liberties.
S.H.I.E.L.D., but they do that because they got to make it for
I don't think that at this point in time, I don't think that they do that because they feel like they have to. I feel like they do that because they can take those liberties now. I feel like across time, look, human nature is not that much difference. It's just what we're allowed to get away with is different. And
I love having you on the show because of this. But I do want to say Marvel always had their black characters. Black Panther, the first black superhero. Marvel did it first. They had their first female superheroes. They always did. My favorite villain of Spider-Man's, who turned out to be his friend, was a Puerto Rican black guy, the Prowler.
Okay.
Who's because I just love the Prowler. Marvel, because the Marvel universe and DC universe are completely different. The Marvel universe takes place on this earth, as we know. And most of the heroes are in New York. And New York is very diverse.
I love that too. I love watching the movie and being like,
there's no such city as Metropolis. Well, there is in Southern Illinois, or Gotham. I mean,
no, but do you know my son, my 12-year-old son? We travel a lot for my job, and my kids come with me often. And we decide. Well, my son is the one who said this just recently. We were driving through Atlanta, and he's like, and he knew it was coming up before we went through it. He remembered some of the landmarks, and he's like, "Mom, I don't know why this city always reminds me of Gotham City. Is Gotham City real?" And I said, "I don't think it's real."
What city?
Atlanta, Georgia reminds him of Gotham City. The way it's laid out.
Chicago's Gotham.
Yeah, didn't they take it after Chicago?
Not after Chicago, but they filmed two of the Batman with Christian Bale's in Chicago.
Okay.
And the third was
See, and this I didn't know. I had no idea.
The third was in Pittsburgh, and I've lived in both Gothams.
That's awesome. No, that's cool.
Yeah,
I told him I didn't know. I said that was something that we would research. A lot of times when he comes up with these ideas, I say, well, that's something we're going to look up. And I wondered if they had mocked it after something else because I was about positive that Gotham City doesn't exist. I don't mean to sound like an idiot saying I don't know that, but
right, but they mocked it after something.
Heather, what are your favorites this year? And please teach me something.
We actually listened to one of my favorites on the way, or a couple of them on the way up here. Ingrid Andress.
I love this.
Yeah.
If you're a girl, if you're a chick, if you're a person who feels, if you're a person,
you can say girl and chick. You just can't say R or N.
Well, no, but I mean this. Like, if you're a person who feels like you've ever had to apologize for maybe not being quite proper and ladylike, listen to this song.
It's called Ladylike.
I love it.
Oh God, now I'm intrigued.
You'd like it. I think you would.
Probably.
I think you would really like it. We should listen to it later.
Do you know about the horn?
Yes.
She's been prepped.
Oh,
thoroughly
God.
prepped by all the people you love.
That'd be everybody that works at the loony bin.
Probably. Go on, Heather Feather.
Feather?
Yes.
Porter Wagner's daughter. All right, go ahead. Granddaughter.
Also, Tennille Towns has a really good single that came out called Somebody's Daughter.
Never met her.
Actually reminds me of this girl right here.
Ooh.
You know how long we've known each other, right?
I don't.
Oh, our friendship is the oldest that either of us have experienced.
I love this.
5 years old.
I did not know.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. We met when we were 5.
You're HLM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very much.
And her life mate. Yeah.
Maren Morris's whole album blew me away this year.
There, you asked the country girl to come. You're gonna get the country answers.
Keep going.
I'm proud of her for sticking to her guns over here. Come on, go ahead.
Yep. Also, Carrie Underwood's whole album I loved, and then Kelsey Ballerini's Homecoming Queen. That's more than 5, isn't it?
You're gonna like
Carrie Underwood's kind of attractive, right?
A little bit.
just a little,
Yeah,
mildly cute.
she's pretty hot.
You know, when I grew up, like, you had Crystal Gale, who was pretty. Her hair. I had my Spanish teacher married a woman just looked just like her, and he always said, in our classes, he said, "Don't get married during college," because he did. And they were together. She looked like Crystal Gale. And then I've talked to him since he retired from teaching, and I'm like, "He's still married to Crystal Gale?" He says, "You remember?" I'm old. Okay, so I'm a relic, and he's like an antique. And he looked at what I'm doing here in Chicago, and he said something that my father never said to me. He said he was proud of me.
Oh.
And that was like, wow. My high school teacher.
Yeah.
It taught me Spanish.
Yeah.
3 years of Spanish. Said he's proud of me.
It's wild what will resonate, but I think it's important.
What else do you have there?
So I don't watch movies. I watched one movie this year.
What was it?
Joker. That was the one I liked. I watched
Look
The
at her
Meg.
face. You gonna flash us again? Look at her. Look at her.
Loved it. I loved
great.
it too. It
My
was
son
awesome.
tells me I should watch it, and I'm gonna watch it when it comes out on DVD. I'm
can't.
probably gonna buy it. Seems like it. Did you see it in a theater?
No.
Do you have drive-ins where you live?
No,
Well, there's one about
closest-
35 minutes from
That's
Is
not
it that
far.
close?
Me.
I thought it was an hour away.
Yeah, well, it is.
Where's that located?
It's in Gibson City.
Yeah, that is an hour for me for sure.
Why does that sound familiar to me?
I
I think that's because it's the closest drive-in to here.
Well, Gibson City, you would probably see it if you ever go south on 57. You would see the.
No, I'm just
right?
like I'm big
There's
into
an exit
drive-ins.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the drive-in with Dale in Iowa. Now I won't go. Like I check the movies now. I'm not going just for the drive-in experience because they showed some animation shit, and I hate. Well, I don't hate animated movies.
Ooh.
But I don't like. I don't like talking animals. Like
You know what might if you. Look, I'm
and
not
like,
into changing
Transformers
people.
too. Like I don't get Transformers.
I'm not into
and they
changing
talk.
people, but if you ever wanted to appreciate it more, watch a documentary about how it's done, and I think you would appreciate animation better.
Yeah.
Like I'm having like
Watch like a Pixar
PTSD
documentary.
or whatever it's called. Watch these previews for Doolittle coming out.
I haven't watched.
I
And
haven't,
they're-
I haven't
That's
seen-
different though.
That's the new
I mean,
movie
that's-
with Robert Downey Jr.
Okay,
It's
but
coming out.
that's new. That's new, and that's debatable on whether or not that's animation. Let's have off air sometime. You and I have a debate about that because I don't know.
Debating I love when you come on here because you don't always agree with me, and I don't want to agree with you.
I like that too.
You as well. Please don't agree with me on everything because that's not what this is about. I'm all for open debate. Okay, you got a top list?
I do. I sort of do. I will say I don't have a top 5 of everything, but I'm
You
gonna.
don't have to. What did you like?
Well, you already know that I really like the Endgame and Captain Marvel movies, but there was a movie on Netflix that I liked. You might get a kick out of. It's kind of slow moving, but it's it's called The Highwaymen, and it's basically about Bonnie and Clyde. It's like
Yes,
a story.
yes, saw it.
Okay. It was somewhat slow
was
moving.
that Costner and
Yep.
Woody Harrelson?
Yes, it was.
Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors.
They're
Great,
both.
great show.
I felt like it was kind of a slow moving movie, but the point of it and the way they did it, it was gritty, and I liked it a
about
lot.
the cops.
Yeah, I liked it. And they didn't lightly foot around what I like how I politically correct said that. How how it was to be a villain, I guess, and like what it was about. And the good guys sometimes don't have to be the villains to get what they gotta get done. My live shows. So
Oh, here we go.
I saw
Jay-Z,
Jay-Z.
Rihanna.
I actually saw
Oh.
TLC this year. That was pretty cool.
What? One of them's dead.
Yeah.
Left Eye.
Yeah, but the way
Adam
they...
Beckvar loves Left Eye. Did she beat her husband, the football player? Number 33 in the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I don't remember.
I don't remember the details of it, but I remember that being a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, she was cute. And what else? Did you see Kanye?
Well, I didn't see TLC. That was her that saw that. No, I didn't.
Where did you see TLC, country girl?
It was in August
Where?
at... what's it called?
Looney Bin.
I want to say The World. It's not that anymore.
Oh, Tinley Park.
Yes.
Yeah. It was the World when I first went.
the Tweeter Center?
Yeah.
When it was the World, I got to hang out backstage with David Bowie and Nine Inch Nails in '95.
That's nice.
The first year MKUltra, like when we first came out, we got everything. I mean, nobody saw anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't doing anything by the book. I was doing it my way.
Which is why they loved it.
And it shook shit up.
Because you weren't trying to be perfect.
Well, I wasn't trying to be fun either. I was trying to be fucking dirty and
Gritty.
Like, look, this is how it is. This is rock
What
and
did
roll.
I just said this
Rock
on the
and
way
roll
here?
is
She was worried about showing this video of a live performance she just did because she's like, my voice cracked in this. And I was like, listen, chick, this is why I loved it so much because you didn't care. You were so passionate
I
about
love
what
that
you
shit.
did.
Nah.
You were so passionate about what you did. I said, like, just if you want to be perfect and you want to fizzle out real quick, that's
Look,
fine. But if you want to
rock
be
and roll's
iconic, you
not
got to put it all
pretty.
in there.
You know the band Dirty Honey?
Not yet.
Oh, man.
I covered one of their songs.
And I'm going to send a video to them of her doing it. I'm sorry, but it's public record now. I mean, you put it on Facebook.
You know what?
I'm
If
sending
you
it.
can get it to me as a WAV file this week, or like next 24 hours, or a MP3,
It shook.
Cassie will put it at the end of the show. We'll have it. Yes.
That's awesome. We'll
Wait a
do
minute.
that?
Is it a
Yeah.
song
Shook
or a band?
myself.
Dirty Honey.
Dirty Honey's the band. The
They
song's When I'm
opened-
Gone.
Why do I know this band? I know.
Well, they opened for somebody that she saw.
I went and saw Slash and Miles Kennedy, and they opened for them.
Okay, that's all you had to say. You know, you're sitting next to.
What you checking out?
I was looking for it. That's not behind me.
All right, so
Anything else?
you talked about all the live shows that I didn't see. Can I tell you what I did see?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So
I'm
I
having
saw
fun with that.
I saw Dizzy Reed and Alex Grassi, and it was a small intimate show at HVAC, and I loved it.
You were here
I was here that day, and that was one of my all-time favorite moments of seeing something, because it was small and it was intimate. There weren't that many people there, and I got to see these people play. I don't know, like the first time that that's not true. If I go back to the first time I was ever really introduced to rock, that was probably in the womb, but I don't know. It was just amazing to see them play. Like they played Patience, in like November Rain, like almost acoustic. It wasn't exactly acoustic, but it was really intimate.
Yeah, I wish I work on Mondays, so I couldn't go.
It was amazing.
Now this time they're coming back when that big fucking fuckfest sold out at the Motley Crue tour.
Oh, in August.
Okay.
Sold out, and I guess Nick told me they're doing some show and I'm going to do my best to make. I'll take
That's
time
at
off.
HVAC too.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
HVAC is fun.
Yeah.
I would go back there.
I'll go if I can get on the list. I'll go. So, and what else?
I went with a friend of mine and saw Zach Wilde play at the Forge.
Baby,
That was amazing.
scratch my back.
It was pretty great. That was amazing to see.
Yeah, he is good.
Yeah. He was playing. He was having fun. It was a blast. And there were kids there. Like you could tell. I don't know if it was kids of the crew or what it was, but they were sitting there watching. They had their little earplugs in, and it was great. And one of the things that I was going to mention to you, and then I realized it was actually at the very end of 2018, but worth mentioning. I went to the Forge to see POD, thinking I was going to have a blast. And Nick and I left before POD, I think, even finished their set.
Why?
But what I saw, because Nonpoint came on first.
Were you there, Cassie?
I don't think she was there that night.
She used to work there.
But this band Nonpoint that I didn't even realize I was going to see that night until they came on. And like nothing could really quite beat that. Like once their set was done, I just kind of felt like, well, that was why I was here. That was great. We can go anytime.
This is
so yeah, check them out.
It's an amazing show so far because we're like 45 minutes in.
Okay.
We're still not to the letters yet. Keep going.
Real quick, one thing.
We've got time. Do you have time?
A friend of mine.
I have time. Yep.
Natalie?
Yes, I do.
I call her Natalie.
AKA Heather, what she was born with.
Hedo.
So music that's out. A friend of mine, she's her band, it's like family. Like her dad, I swear her brother's in this band, but they're called Paralandra, and they just came out with a single called Love Will Win, and it's rock. I mean, it's like metal, but it's almost like metal with a message. I feel like most metal is, but it's really really awesome. I think you would like them. I would check that out. Yeah,
I
they just came out with a single.
Thinking Man's Metal. I like Prong, stuff like that. Like, but yeah, Prong has an angry edge to it, but that's another thing.
Lana Del Rey has an album out that's probably arguably a great melancholy album if you want to be sad about something. But
no, she's good. I checked her out. I think
it's
because
called
of Cassie,
Norman effing Rockweller, and I think that's Rockwell. Norman effing Rockwell. It's great.
You think we can move on to the letters?
Let's go.
You've got mail.
Oh yeah, we get letters, and I got some doozies this week, kids. Where do I begin? First of all, if you look down to the right side of your screen, if you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe. And now if you subscribe and you like us and keep liking us on wherever you see us or hear us, please do, because we're going to have a great contest next year, and it might have something to do with sex and weed. You notice I threw sex in there?
I saw that.
Black Metal Jason in Detroit. Black Metal Jason in Detroit wrote, commented on the 15th Ultrasound podcast with Angela Dank. Always good to hear Angela's perspective on things. Jason Elkins in Indiana wrote, Alex, I knew you were doing a podcast, but I never knew you were doing a video show of it. I love this. This was so much fun to watch. I love what you were doing and what you represent. Also love that you mentioned Typo Negative. I never knew you started MK Ultra because of them. Just wow. I have mad respect for you. Keep up the fantastic work. Hope this takes off. I totally support you. Everything about this was very cool and totally refreshing to see. Have a great holiday, man.
Nice.
And he shoots the horns.
Love it.
Thanks, brother. He made some movies once upon a time. He went to Hollywood and he had some big name chick in it. But Dylan in Montana wrote on the Tiny Texie episode last week, there's enough material in the last one to psychoanalyze to last me a lifetime. I will repeat. He wrote exactly this. There is enough material in the last one to psychoanalyze to last me a lifetime. Thanks, Dylan. Dylan also had a great suggestion we're going to do. Dylan suggested that Cassie take together 5-minute snippets of the last year.
Yeah.
We're almost like 3/4 of a year in, and do a best of. So
That's a good idea.
I'm gonna make that happen
She'll do great.
on the first of the year when I'm at the Hansa Clipper with Max Bravo. Okay, so Lydia in Wisconsin wrote in regards to Suicide Solutions show we do with Angela Dank. I know Lydia, her ex was my tattooist. I invested some money into his business. It didn't work. We had a falling out, which I wish that at some point as men, we could have come to terms before he took his own life.
Oh, wow.
She wrote, and this show's about 3 months old. So it took me a long time to really sit down and listen to this. Alexander, I love you and I miss you so much. Of this completely broke my heart. Great podcast. Everyone should take time to hear this. Thank you for honoring Sean here. This is probably the best thing I've heard in his memory. I'm sorry to hear of your ordeal, and I'm sorry to hear the feelings you were left with through this. With that being said, your words of wisdom may be some of my forever favorites. We are great men, but sometimes you need to set aside being great men and stop and be a great friend.
Wow.
Beautiful, Alex, beautiful. Yeah, I said that. And that's how I feel, because I've lost so many friends to suicide, and so many friends, just lost friends. Samantha, you introduced me to, I was just a doll. Performed for us, for MKULTRASOUND, carried my son's products at her salon. Life's too short friendships are very, very important to keep.
I agree.
And sometimes we lose people before we can say, hey man, it's not that big of a deal, because life is fucking cool, man. Life is fucking
It is
nice.
And I feel like communication breakdowns are 90% of what keeps people from.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that. And
from
you know,
just,
I should have just said, hey man, you know, it didn't work out. It's just money. But there's a lot of drama on his end, and I'm the kind of like, I don't like dealing with a motherfucking guy.
Yeah.
I got to stop being that guy and start being a better fucking listener and a better friend, and being like, hey man, leave, come down here, hang out on the beach with me for a couple of days, ride bikes, that kind of guy, you know. And I could have done it, I didn't. So that's where I went bad on that one. Lydia, I love you. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry it took you so long, but I meant every word that I said, and you're welcome here anytime, because I did have a good day at the beach with those two.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Salisbury in New Hampshire got to meet and took his picture with Tulsi Gabbard last night.
All right.
And we already played everything. So I'm going to read.
I was surprised. I wasn't sure how you were what your stance on
well,
this
this
was
is a
gonna
letter.
be.
So,
yeah.
And it's on the front of here. So I'm a big supporter of Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, I see this now.
Oh, yeah. Everybody that watches the show sees it.
Okay.
And I've got a big sign on my front window.
Okay. All right.
And on my door.
Well, you see how well I pay attention to my details.
Did you see the new clown in the window?
No, I try to avoid them.
Why does Hoffman always see the clown? Okay, so Bob wrote some thoughts regarding Tulsi rally in southern New Hampshire this afternoon. I wish I could do his voice, his like Boston Alexander. You got all these tattoo motherfuckers on your show. You need to have some regular people on there make some $1 million, man. They can make a meal. Anyway.
Oh, can we please get a video clip, or like I want a voice clip of
Right
him
there.
now.
Oh, then you got.
I want a voice clip of him, is what I'm saying.
No, you'll
Yeah.
meet Bob. Oh,
Okay.
He's fucking awesome.
All right.
He loves chicken wings. He writes, okay, this is a little lengthy, so I'm going to read it, because that's what I do. First and foremost, she absolutely hit it out of the park with respect to connecting with the audience and pragmatic ideas. I would go as far to say that she exceeded the high expectations I already had for her. In her opening statement, she spoke about the need to have someone that can unify the divisions in this country. She referenced Abraham Lincoln's in his divided house speech. A house divided cannot stand.
Yeah.
A house divided, Spock said the same thing, kind of. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Both sides of the political spectrum can both agree we are as divided as we ever have been. And this is true. I, like many other Americans, picked my side and have been short-sighted on what I wanted the end game to be. Make sure my guy whose policies are in lockstep with my views wins at all costs. I'm all right with admitting this, because I truly believe that political tribalism has trumped making decisions on pragmatism and rational thought. I came to this flawed realization about myself after hearing Tulsi speak. She shared how she was elected to Congress, her extending an olive branch to all 435 members by having her mother make her famous Macedonian toffee treats for everyone. We had a sample, and it was great. She followed up with talking about the long-standing problem of military-industrial complex and war profiteering. One example was the non-consensual occupation in Afghanistan. As a country, we spend over $4 billion a month, and none of the higher-ups in the military can articulate why we are there.
Yeah.
Crony capitalism within the healthcare industry was brought up. The insurance companies are crafting legislation. The pharma companies are paying big money to lobbyist firms to keep and gin up their margins. Of course, this is not some big revelation, but I have complete confidence that if she was elected, she would follow through on rooting out this corruption. Moreover, she is not proposing insane ideas like single payer. Basically, if you like your private health care coverage, keep it and have a system for the poor and uninsured. Where do you get that money? And this is why I love Tulsi Gabbard, unlike Bernie Sanders. Stop funding bullshit like Afghanistan. There's $1 trillion over 10 years. There's where you solve your healthcare problem. Go after opioid companies that cause the epidemic we have. There's at least another $500 billion there. She did not get into the typical Democrat bullshit of class warfare, billionaires are evil, and Trump is going to create the next apocalypse crap. Here's a cool story from the event. Some Trump hater in the audience tried needling her on the present vote regarding the impeachment. She stood her ground and positioned on this like a fucking boss. She also explained her vote was with surgical like precision, speaking to the fact that this was politically motivated and a flawed process, exactly what the founders were fearful of. I could go on. Bottom line is Tulsi is smart, wonderful, strong woman. She's a much bigger threat to the left than Trump could ever be. I do believe she's going to have a strong following in New Hampshire on February 11th. Apparently, she has a lot of support in South Carolina, according to a buddy of mine who lives there. I think she has a stronger grassroots movement than we thought. She has a strategy that will make some headway. I predict if Trump wins re-election, and she will be the Democratic nominee in 2024, as they have no choice but to marginalize the leftists who have hijacked the party. Aloha, Bob. P.S. Aloha means I respect you. Welcome. Something I learned today. That's Bob. That's my fucking friend, Bob.
You're listening to the MKUltrasound podcast. Please feel free to contact us at podcasts@mkultramagazine.com.
Oh, I miss having Ty read letters.
So what'd
you think of that?
I loved it. I knew that you were going to read a letter about that, but I didn't know how your stance was going to be on it. I was prepared to get into it with you, actually.
Over Tulsi?
A little bit. I'm the first to admit when I'm not going to speak on something. I'm not going to deliver a huge persuasive argument on something that I don't know a whole lot about. But what I do feel like I've understood of her is that it's funny because you say how she says we need to unite. We need,
unify.
And the letter says, and the letter says that we're more separated than we've ever been. Well, I understand that most people are very separated, but the way, side note, if I could just kind of make a visualization here, is that I feel like, we have two parties. I feel like anybody who thinks that there's absolutely two parties is kind of not admitting the fact that it's a hybrid of both. There's a mess going on. And I feel like what I've noticed her doing, and I approve of, and I would support that, is that there's a mess. Like there's a middle. If you think about there's like a knot in the middle that is the political climate, and I feel like it's this nasty knot, and everybody's, you can't even see what side is this or that anymore, and it's not so much that it's divided. I feel like it's a mess in the middle, like if you had a bunch of fish that were in a net going different directions, or if you had a ball of yarn and you can't figure out which side is which anymore because it's just this big knot in the middle, and what it's left with is the actual people who are living here who are supposed to, we're supposed to do what we need to do, and we have to go around it. Like they're making a traffic jam. I feel like there's a nasty traffic jam, and if you want to go forward,
she's not getting her voice heard because of this.
Well, but I feel like she could lead the getting around it and go forward. Somebody has to go forward.
My far lefty liberal friends like Lisa Lightning and Rich Experience, they love her, and because she's a unifier. A lot of Democrats don't want us to get along with the other side. I think we should all get along. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And look at social media. Everybody's a social. is a... Thanks, Nick Huffman. This is no RETARD. And he says, you can still say, but you have to honk your horn. Nick didn't do nothing. I mean, I think social media makes people R-words.
Oh, my gosh. I mean...
Heather?
Yeah, absolutely. It takes away their ability to think for themselves.
Oh, God. That's a quote. You know what? I want to talk to you now, and I want to talk a lot about you. And we're already 55 minutes into the show. Can we do a video real quick?
Sure.
And so tell us what this video is and when it came out, and you did a show at the Looney Bin, right? So
Yeah.
Set this video up.
Yeah, this is the music video for my new release, Don't You. We shot it at the end of August.
Beginning of
Yep.
August.
We released everything December 2nd.
You did a show at Looney Bin?
Yeah, I just had a show at the Looney Bin on December 21st. It was my single release party.
Who directed the video and who's in the video? Who plays what parts? I know there's musicians, and then you have a boyfriend guy in the video.
Yeah, he's the drummer, and then Nick Galick was playing guitar. Jimmy Rotundo played bass guitar. William Brown, he directed the video, and then Freddie D'Angelo did the editing for me.
And this is a single. Do you have a whole album out?
No, I don't have an album out yet. I'm working on my next single. The next single is going to be Grace, and we're going to be releasing that sometime in March.
You know, I'm getting hard to get because people only release singles now. They don't really do albums anymore.
Well, I feel like you have to work with how you get with social media. That's the thing, is it makes people retards, but that's what everybody
I love you. Right now we're going to watch this video and you listen to this song called Don't You. And this is our new friend, Natalie. I mean,
Oh,
this is Heather Wagner, and you're listening to the MKULTRASOUND podcast.
You walked right in unexpectedly like a lucky lottery ticket. We acted a little recklessly, but I knew that I wanted you in it. And we crossed that line. You do that to me every time. We crossed that line, yeah. We laughed until we cried. Friends don't fight the way we do, then turn around and say I gotta see you. We crossed that line, yeah. We laughed until we cried. Don't you look at me like that in your tore up backwards baseball hat. Don't you call me at night saying you want someone to hold you tight. Don't you kiss me that way, hearts beat faster, pulling me closer. I know you want me, I know you want me, I know you want me to stay. Don't you look at me like that in your tore up backwards baseball hat. Don't you call me at night saying you want someone to hold you tight. Don't you kiss me that way, heart's beat faster. I know you want me, I know you want me, I know you want me to stay. Don't you? Don't you? You walked right in unexpectedly like a lucky lottery ticket.
I like the production on that.
Well, thanks.
It's good.
Thank you.
It's really good.
We did that up at the Attic recording
I
studio.
read that. Tell us about the attic and how you recorded that and with who.
We recorded that with Jose Urquiza and the boys from Elysium, Nate Compton, Corey Compton, and Nate Thompson.
Okay. Did you write that song yourself?
I did.
Did you compose it? Do you play guitar?
I don't play anything. I'm learning how to play. I'm like trying to teach myself how
She's
to play
pretty
guitar
face.
now.
Shania Twain over here.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I grew up with country music, as I mentioned, we had Crystal Gale, and that was about it. The women in country, other than Dolly, was known for one. Dolly just a fucking sweetheart. And fuck that tits aside. I mean, Johnny Carson. That's a Johnny Carson joke. I really, because I grew up on your uncle's show, Porter Wagner.
Yeah.
I saw her on there like every Wednesday at my grandparents' house.
They did a beautiful anniversary on Grand Ole Opry for her.
For Dolly. I know that she's doing some big shit right now. God, I would love to meet her.
You could make that happen.
I'd like to see a museum of her wigs.
Oh.
I mean, great fucking wigs, man. But she was married to the same guy forever. Dolly.
Bless her.
Her heart. Do you see that?
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. Cassie, bless her heart. I hope she'd flash us again. How'd you get your start? And are you, so you're two old friends since like 5?
Yeah.
You went to school together? No, you did.
I mean,
Yes.
we're 2 years apart, but we grew up across the street from each other. She's been saying this is what is going to be her life since she was
5.
before that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that you were pretty solid in
I know that
this.
feeling.
You were pretty solid in this when I met you.
There was times when I would go over to her house and play, and she would be dressing up my Barbie dolls, just making clothes for them, and I would put them on stage and
sing for them.
Did you do talent shows and all that shit?
Oh
through
yeah,
school?
yeah. I would do talent shows, and I would do wedding gigs and all that good stuff.
And I mean,
Pageants.
yeah.
You
Well,
have
you
a-
get into it though. I mean, that's
But
what I
your
think.
mom
People,
sings, and didn't your dad sing too?
Yeah, I took vocal lessons from her grandma.
you know, that people all over the country and all over the world listen to this show. So you know, and a lot of people just heard that fucking song. Kenny Ryback in Los Angeles, by the way. What'd you think, brother? He's a big name. He listens to the show, comments on my weight, but that's what they do in LA. So, is that it? I think Cassie's food arrived. We're doing some weird camera stuff. This is live, by the way, so that's that. And you said the R word. Recording. You said recording.
Yeah.
Always the appropriate ones that do the worst damage.
That's why I love having you on the show.
Thank you.
So, Heather Wagner, you never felt the need to change your name because you have a great name for music.
Thank
do.
you.
So it rolls off the tongue well. Like, you know, I wasn't born Alexander. We're not all blessed with a fucking cool name like you.
It's one of the first things I asked him. When most people are like, "Hey, what's your sign?" I was like, "Hey, what's your real name?"
You do that?
I did. You told me too. You said this is
Heather Wagner's a good name.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I know. This is my business. I mean, you could have a name like John Vlakovic, you know, or Heather Vlakovic, or Natalie. Is there any famous Natalies?
Natalie
Natalie
Portman.
Portman.
Oh, you know that sick thing about her? You see the movie The Professional she was in? Gary Oldman, Hitman
Never seen
movie. And she was like 10, and you knew she was going to be hot.
Okay.
Like Winona Ryder. You knew Winona Ryder was going to be hot.
All right.
Hot mess, but she's still hot.
All right.
You know they're making a new Beetlejuice?
No.
I heard.
Did you see the previews?
I
for it?
haven't
I've
seen the
yeah,
previews.
yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Why? Drugs?
No, because Beetlejuice, it's like you don't. All right, I refused. Just here, quick tidbit. I refused to see the Ghostbusters remake. You don't mess with that.
Are the same?
No,
people
it's not a
gonna be
remake.
in
It's
it?
the same people. Michael Keaton.
All right.
That's
Winona
gonna be
Ryder.
fantastic.
All the
I'll
original.
check it out.
Alec fucking Baldwin.
Okay, I will
All of
check it
them,
out.
yeah.
All right, that makes things a little different.
No, it's not a no.
Yeah,
I
check
hate.
me in my place.
I fucking
I'm
hate
good with it.
remakes.
Yeah.
hate
I'm
'em.
like, no. If
Stop messing with
it's
it.
legendary, don't mess with it.
They did Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. It was like these movies were made when I was old enough to go to the theater without my parents to see them.
Are you getting that dude on here? What's his name? Ari?
Next, hey, he's already
coming?
Lim. Yes,
Cool guy.
And here's his hot sauce.
Fun dude.
He was the very first
Hey.
Jason, first Friday the 13th, and we've got history he doesn't know about. We're gonna talk about
That's fun.
because I'm from Pittsburgh, and the guy who did the makeup on this is from Pittsburgh.
All right.
Lived in my neighborhood. But I don't want to give too much away. Ari is a funny, fucking cool guy.
He is.
But no, it's not about him. It's about you.
It is.
Let's hear some more. Come on, tell us. I know you. Okay, you have a cover she did,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna get that to me, and we're gonna
I
have it
am.
after this show.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it, and it's gonna happen. We're
Here's-
getting it on here.
We'll get it.
Here's what happened is she's got plans for her release party, right? And she's got this set list that she's doing, and it's in the vein of what she's representing as far as what her music is and what she writes. And she needed to add a cover at the last minute. And so I didn't know she was doing this. She starts singing this like rock song that I've never heard of. I felt like 80s feel rock, and I swear every cell in my body lit up. I literally said, holy fuck, on the video that I'm trying to take of her. And it was amazing. And it was edgy, it was gritty, and she just nailed it. And I was like, whatever you do, I would drop my money on 10 more of that. She just has passion for what she does.
You know who's gonna
regardless
hear
of what
this
it
song
is.
is my friend David Parsons, who I went to radio school with in the '80s. He still works in Wheeling, West Virginia, around the Capitol Music Hall area. We went to radio school together, and this was our country girl, Tanya Tucker.
Tanya Tucker.
Okay.
And I put this up
Is she
in
getting leather?
in the radio station.
That's
yes, I did.
Heather.
And when I went to
Well,
radio school for 2 years in the summers,
something.
Oh,
we hung this
damn.
up. Look at that.
Okay.
That's hot.
Okay, so you had Tammy Wynette,
Mhm.
you had Crystal Gale, and you had this.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that looks a little edgy.
She just
I like
released
that.
a bunch of new stuff too.
She's amazing, and
She is.
she still looks good. But that was we were talking about how country's changed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you have the look for country now. Like Shania Twain, she's a hot mess, but I love her. She did what Garth Brooks did for women in country music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Garth didn't really shift the look that much. Shania Twain totally did.
Well, didn't Garth Brooks take on that like different identity for a couple years, like Chris
Yeah, he
Gaines
did.
or something?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
That was.
But when he was big, like Friends
That was
Lopez,
like when Michael Jordan decided to be a baseball player.
Yes.
but he Garth Brooks wrote pop songs, and he was a Kiss fan, and his show was all was that swinging on ropes and everything he did, and they covered a Kiss song. I don't know if you know
Okay.
that. He
I
covered
don't.
Hard Like Woman. Yeah. on the Kiss
Okay.
tribute. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, he did that, and also on the same album, Stevie Wonder and Lenny Kravitz did a Kiss song together, with Stevie Wonder playing harmonica.
I like that.
It's a good album, actually, better than Kiss.
That's what I trust about this girl over here, is that I feel like if she just
Okay.
goes with her instinct.
So on this album, she covers Buddy Holly, Not Fade Away. And this is a standard that I cover in every band I play with.
Mm-hmm.
We cover this song. And Love is Love, Not Fade Away. You know that song? I'm going to tell you. Rolling Stones did it.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. You're going to give your love to me.
Yeah.
I love you night and day. Love is love, not fade away.
I didn't know
She did it.
that was
and
her.
Tore it up. It's a huge hit for her. Crossed over all charts.
Yeah.
Pop, rock, and country. #1. And that wasn't easy to do in the late 70s, early 80s.
I can imagine.
But now country music is sexy. Like women
You have
look
to
like
sell me on that a little more.
you don't think. Look at these girls in country
Alright.
music now. They're
Yeah.
fucking gorgeous.
Okay,
It's like MTV videos.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling sex. I think the guys kind of like falter a little bit because they trying to hang on that one still. And I like Dwight Yoakam.
I do too.
You know, and that's about as far as new country goes with me. I'm a big fan of Willie Waylon,
Yes.
Devon Coe. We all know I love Johnny Cash.
And I feel like that, again, is going right up to the line of what you think might be if not socially acceptable. What can you get away with? What is that line of acceptability? And you go right up to it, or maybe just touch your toe over the edge of it so that you can get away with being anywhere near acceptable.
Shania Twain's husband produced AC/DC and Def Leppard.
That's Mutt, right?
John Mutt-Lang, yeah.
Nice.
It looks like it too. You know their story. I have her book. Do you know they basically traded spouses? Shania's best friend was fucking John Mutt-Lang. It devastated her. Her book is great. And then when they split up, and he married Shania's best friend, and she married her ex-best friend's husband. That's Kankakee.
Hey, you just said what I was thinking. I was
Are you
like,
serious?
I know a couple like that, actually.
Oh, that's all my whole high school's that way. I look at my people. I love like going online and seeing people like all the people that fucked with me and beat me up every day. And it's like you just traded wives.
You know what I think happens is that you know what you're dealing with then. You know, like
Yuck!
somebody told me a really long time ago that like if you were gonna take like your issues with your partner and everybody else around you put their issues with their partner and you put it in a bag and you had the choice of picking out like what issues are you gonna deal with, you'd pick back the ones that you know.
Wasn't that a show, Trading Spouses?
Oh, I don't know.
My friend Pete Werwick was on that. He's a country musician.
Is my friend Tana's
Oh,
friend?
I gotta totally get you in. Oh, I love her. God damn it! It's time to see her. Did you see what she posted on my Facebook page?
No, I didn't. But
Okay,
pretty much anything she posts.
This is a picture of the porn star Brie Olson. Okay, this was before Charlie Sheen. It's her kissing, grabbing me by the head and kissing me. And then Tana writes, "I'd like to see that." She writes, "I want to kiss Brie Olson," and I wrote, "I'd like to see that actually." And Brie lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana, so this could happen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wait, nudge.
So you scared yet, Heather?
No.
Let's hear what you're gonna do next. Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's do this, and we'll be right back.
Want a killer look without breaking your wallet? Try Killer Beards. All beard products are made with natural ingredients to stop beard dandruff and itching before it starts while giving you a smooth, silky beard that smells amazing. Choose from 5 amazing scents that will have everyone saying,
Wow, that's a killer beard, and it sure does smell good.
Also available are shampoo and bars of rough cut soap. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy at etsy.com/shop/Killer Beards. That's Killer Beards. Use the discount code MKUltra20 for 20%
You're listening
off.
to the
That's
MKUltrasound
MKUltra20.
podcast.
Please feel free to contact us at podcast@mkultramagazine.com.
I jumped the gun on that one. All right, Heather, what's in the future? Upcoming show, upcoming single.
Both.
Let's hear all about it.
I have a show coming up January 25th at the Majestic Theater in Kankakee. I'm opening up for Doug Stone.
I saw that ad. Yeah.
And I'll actually be in the studio January 16th finishing up my single Grace. We're going to be releasing that in March.
I saw you perform that live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Your bass player is wearing sandals and socks.
Is he?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Grace is an amazing song.
It is. It's a good song.
It's super special to me. I wrote it about my
You gotta hear it.
sister.
Oh yeah. So talk about the song then, since it's a prequel
Yes. I wrote the song about my sister.
or preview. I'm sorry, prequel.
It ended up, Nick actually explained it very well. It's kind of a song about your therapy human. As I continued writing the song and when we were in the studio, the song ended up changing. In July, my cousin ended up taking his own life. And so the song ended up evolving. So when we do the music video and releasing the song, it'll end up being about suicide prevention as well.
Can you share some lyrics with us?
Yeah, I'll actually show you some lyrics.
Take your clothes off. She's doing a Cassie.
So,
oh wow,
you keep me wild is on my arm, and then my sister has the tattoo. You keep me safe, and then under the tattoo is Morse code for sisters. So those are some of the lyrics in the song.
I'm very impressed.
She's
Seriously, I'm
a damn
seriously
good writer.
Can you recite the lyrics to us? Do you mind?
Yeah, I'll try to do it without singing them.
Or you can sing them.
Okay, I'll sing the first verse.
Sing it.
Yeah.
Go.
2 a.m. calls, late night drives. Hearing you breathe is all I need. The way you smile, take me away. You save my soul every damn day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get chills.
Exclusive. You're good.
Thank you.
No, you really do. You have the right voice for this. I really want to help you get to where you want to go.
Thank you very much.
We can do that.
That song, oh my, I can't even talk. That song gets tears in my eyes every time I hear her sing it. One time she came to me and she gave me like a rough, am I allowed to talk about this real quick?
Yeah.
Every time I've ever heard that song, I get chills and I get tears in my eyes. And I love her. I mean, I know I'm biased. I know this, but not every song she does that to me. I'm proud of her, but that song every time gets tears in my eyes. She brought me.
If I heard the whole song, I'd probably feel the same way based on your tats.
She brought me a rough version of something they had done in the studio, and it didn't make my eyes water. And I almost it was like background noise to me. Like we were talking and I was able to ignore the song. And I was like, hey, I don't mean to step out of line, but I was like, whatever you did to take the goosebumps away from me, fix that.
It, yeah.
Fix that. I'm like, I don't mean, but like every single time I hear that song, it gives me goosebumps, and not one time has it been any different. But I was like, whatever you did in the studio, I don't know what it was, but whatever you did, maybe you want to change that. And that was probably the one and only time I ever got real bossy with her. But
Every great day starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee from Martin Atkins and Dark Matter Coffee. Go to darkmattercoffee.com. Look for the big red logo that says get the fuck out of bed. America runs on damage, and it all starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee. There are 10 commandments and there are 7 deadly sins, but there is only one MK Ultra Magazine. Visit us daily online at www.mkultramagazine.com for entertainment news, reviews, and interviews. mkultramagazine.com, home of Alexander's Diary of a Damned Man. That's mkultramagazine.com.
Oops. Mics were live.
it's a good noise, though. I mean, your friends in LA are gonna love that.
You talking about Kenny Ryback?
You want some voiceovers? You could do some voiceovers, Alex. You ever thought about that?
See, if you knew what I was... Cassie, can I get a paper towel? I gotta blow my nose. Anybody got a napkin or something?
Here, you can have my top 5 of 2019.
Yeah, give me yours. You suck.
Screw you. I love the Highwaymen.
I liked it too, a lot. Mm-hmm. Look, anything Woody Harrelson's in. Did you see that movie he did with Pierce Brosnan and Salma Hayek?
Yeah. What was it?
Hysterical.
I know I did.
Where they were diamond thieves and he was the cop chasing them.
Yeah.
And they kept fucking with him.
Yeah.
I love Woody. When I first saw Woody Harrelson in a movie that was outside of, what was that fucking show he was on? Where they drank. Cheers. The Looney Bin.
Thank you.
The Looney Bin. Where the place where everybody knows your name. You know, I can still go to Looney Bin in the afternoon. They don't know who I am. We got to fix that.
You're going on the wrong day.
There she goes.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I was going to get to that. That's what I was going to, that thing we were talking about. But, okay, Cheers. I didn't really get him. I didn't like Cheers. It's like a dumb fucking show. There was only like one set. And I hated Frasier.
Is there any other sitcom like that?
No. Let me finish here. It was a stage thing. Looney Bin. So
I'm listening.
I saw him in Duck Hollywood.
Okay.
And at the end when he was like, Michael J. Fox or somebody's like, is that a star?
Movie.
No. Bridget Fonda says, is that a star? He goes, nope, that's Ted Danson. It's just like, I loved Woody right then. Now he's neighbors with Willie Nelson in Hawaii. Oh. They just, ride bikes a lot.
Salt Rock.
Yeah. But that's Woody is like David Lee Roth. They ride bicycles everywhere. Mm-hmm. David Lee Roth could take a limo anywhere. He goes on tour, takes a bicycle out in Japan or whatever country he is, and just rides his bike. That's why he's Dave.
Yeah.
So I met Heather in person at one of my blackouts. When I came down there, and did our. I want to do another
live show.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. And I got sad thinking about it, though, because of Samantha.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me sad because she really did make it. She was amazing. And Cassie's friend was the guitar player, and they just pulled us off.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I did that, and then I left and came back. So I think I ordered one drink from you. I was like, I'm drunk.
Yeah, you didn't even finish it.
Well, I looked at her because
knocked him out.
I think I wrote to you when you there's something like, are you really? You look like your pictures.
Yeah,
something
you said
like.
does your face look like that?
Yeah, because
Well, Snapchat filters make you gotta wonder.
yeah, that's hello. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And then I saw her and like I couldn't talk, and not because I was spellbound. I was drunk.
It was because
It's because you're spellbound. She's gorgeous. We
She
stopped
is
through a
gorgeous.
drive-through
You're
on the way
perfect,
up
like,
here.
You're a perfect country music singer.
Through the drive-through, and this guy who's trying to hand us our change, and he did a double take. He looks at me, hands the change. He smiles. It's great. And he looks at her, and it was like he dropped the money.
Did he really?
Yeah. Well, he went back, and I looked it over, and I was like, "Ooh, he thinks you're pretty." I was like, "I'm gonna mess with him just a little bit. I'm gonna say she's pretty, isn't she?"
I want to ask this on camera, live here with you. Would you mind if I put you in touch with some video producer and directing people?
No.
People who do like some major rock shit?
Oh no.
Because I want to. Like we kind of talked about this.
Yeah.
And these guys they've done some pretty big shit. They also do all the shit for Ding Guitars. That's
Okay. Yeah.
Dime Bag and all that.
Yeah.
And these guys are good friends of mine. Jason White, old friend of mine. And they've done some videos with a guy for Celtic Frost here, Ron Marks, who is now on a friend's label. And I think they can do you justice. But where you live is perfect for shooting your shit. And then I think that if you have something that can cross over and then like throw you in the city.
Yeah.
So what we did it with Ron Marks, we're like, you can't film at an airport anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how we pulled this off. It was after 9/11. And we got footage, and then but they draw up your storyboards for you, and everything it's high and stuff. But I'd like to do that if that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to step over, but I think you have the perfect voice for this, and I'd like to help as much as I can.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm not getting any money for it. It's just like I like doing it. Well, wow, we're almost an hour and a half in. You got anything you could talk about for another 10 minutes?
You want me to jabber?
What
for
do
another 10
you?
minutes?
Do you want to look at all the countries that are listening to us? Now, what are you up to? What's on your calendar for 2020?
I'm about to make some amazing clothes for her next show.
You're doing her clothes?
Yeah.
Yes.
She does all my stuff. She made this.
That's one of my things that's what I love doing. I like doing custom stuff.
You got to do Curse and Rona this year.
I love it. I'm
You have
excited
to.
to meet them.
Curse, Mackie, Rona.
You tell me when they're going to be here, and I'm going to block out days around it.
Please
and
do.
That's the thing. When I feel like what I do is so up in the air most of the time as far as timeline goes. You think something's going to happen at this day at this time, and sometimes that is set in stone. And a lot of times when you're dealing with artists, then it gets pushed, 12 hours, 24 hours before or after. But if you tell me when they're going to be here, I'm going to block out the day before and the day after. But then I'm going to Missouri. I'm going to the St. Louis area in a couple of weeks to do some custom work on some jackets for my friend Jaron and Tantric, and then his girlfriend Cassandra and
I know that band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got a new video out. It's really awesome. The message is cool.
Get him on the show.
And I'll send a message.
I gotta get Jason Witch. I gotta get Pete Berwick on here.
I think his girlfriend lives here in Chicago. Actually, I'll ask him about that. He's got a girlfriend who's in the music industry too. And then what do I do? Then I'm going down to Jacksonville to shoot my next marketing campaign before February, and then I'm in New York February, like the first week of February.
What would it take to get you to visit me at the hotel during Exotica? And I'm doing shows in my room. I'm doing the podcast. It's Embassy Suites. So if you've been in Embassy Suites, you have 2 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So the back bedroom's the bedroom. The front is
like
I'm going to set up that thing with this.
Okay.
What would it take? Would you come up and do photo ops with people?
Where is it?
It's
I say where. She says
Both
when.
of those?
no, it's Rosemont.
Okay.
I'll give you the information. No, nothing weird's going to happen.
When?
It's the middle of April. It's the weekend after. Oh, fuck, I got to do this now.
I'm in Illinois in
second.
April.
Okay, hang on, Heather. I'm not going to get Huffman to come. He went to sex. Did you see a picture I put of him with no beard?
No.
This past week, I put a picture of Nick the second time we hung out at SexCon. He didn't have a beard.
First time I met him.
And his shirt said, who's that? Natalie.
And Natalie.
He had a shirt on that said Moon Crickets.
Yeah, funny story about that. I have a picture on my phone.
That's who we had on the show last week. Tiny Taxi.
How did that go?
Okay. It was great. Okay, it's April 17th through 19th. So basically, I'm sitting in the studio in my room. I'm going to set like 50-minute interviews with people. But coming, like, they have open bar every day at the Embassy Suites from like 5 to 7. So just throw out there. The promo code, ho, ho, ho. Wow, that's a show. And
That's good.
it was a great show.
That's
Oh,
pretty
I don't think we heard enough from you, though. Can you sing us another song? Before we go out, sing us out.
You know what? You said you like Cheap Trick.
So much I stole my last name from their singer.
A little bit.
A lot.
Don't I do a cover from them?
Do you do a cover from them? Does she? Yeah, she does.
Let's hear it. Take us out.
Oh, man.
Oh, please.
You don't have a video of it, do you?
That Surrender song. It's from
Sing it.
Oh, she does. Oh, she does.
Can you please sing
She
it?
does do a cover.
This is a great way to end the show. And ladies, thank you so much for coming
Next
in.
time we need a dashboard drummer here.
I've got instruments all over this house, but I'm not good enough to play Cheap Trick.
It's super. It's not exactly what you think it is.
Do it.
All right.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
Ready? Mama told me, yeah, she told me I'd meet girls like you. She also told me, yeah, she told me I'd know what to do. Just the other day I heard a neighbor talking about some crazy little stuff that's going around. Mama's alright, Daddy's alright, they just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Hey, hey.
From the north end of the Mississippi River in Chicago, Illinois, to the south end in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you've been listening to the MKULTRASOUND podcast with your host, Alexander, with our special videographer, Cassandra Belazik, and I'm your executive producer, Too Dark. Tune in for the next episode to see exactly what's going to happen next. You've been listening to the MKULTRASOUND podcast.